Member.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So for a solid year while he ran for president, Donald Trump promised pretty much every day that he was going to lower costs on day one, if he was elected. Those were his words, not mine. So Secretary Bessent, you are one of the president's top economic advisors. Let's just start with a little truth-telling about the Trump economy 1 year in. Affordability is the top concern for Americans across the country. Donald Trump has called affordability, I want to get this right, a hoax. He's called it a scam. He's called it a con job. You're the Secretary of Treasury. You know the numbers. Is affordability a hoax, a scam, or a con job?
Senator, it may be a bit nuanced for you, but what President Trump is referring to is the media saying that the affordability crisis was generated by this administration when it was you and President Biden who destroyed the buying power of the American people. So there is an affordability crisis, and you were front and center in it.
So let me make sure that I understand. Donald Trump is not saying that affordability, what's happening to families right now, is a hoax?
He is saying that trying to lay the blame at this administration rather than the Biden-Warren economy is a hoax.
Okay, so it all happened before he got it. And everything that's happened since then, nothing is a hoax here.
21.5% cumulative inflation.
Let me just ask about what's happened in the 1 year that Donald Trump has been president. Last week, President Trump said, quote, "We have the groceries going down." Did grocery prices drop in 2025?
Numerous prices have.
Did grocery prices drop in 2025?
Numerous grocery prices have gone down.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you can't hear me. Did grocery prices drop in 2025?
Numerous grocery prices have gone down.
Some of them.
And in fact, we have seen inflation at 2.1% for the past 3 months.
Have you seen the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that is Donald Trump's own Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers, that report that grocery prices were 2.4% higher at the end of 2025 than they were at the end of 2024. Trump's own Department of Agriculture has projected that those prices would climb higher in 2026. And under Donald Trump, families are paying more and more for groceries. So if you're just going to insult people by denying the facts that are out there and tell people they're doing great when they're struggling, I think that's just another way to say you don't have a plan to bring down these prices. You're not willing to admit the failures of the Trump administration.
Senator.
I will ask you a question in just a sec here. It's not just groceries. The numbers from Trump's own economic agency show that Americans are paying more for utility bills, more for health care, more for housing construction. Families aren't fooled by these lies. Mr. Secretary, you owe it to American families to own up what's going on. And Secretary Bessent, I have one more question for you while I have you here. You ran the search for Donald Trump's Fed chair nominee, and Trump promised, quote, "Anyone that disagrees with me will never be Fed chairman." Kevin Warsh got the nod last Friday, and then over the weekend, Donald Trump joked that he would sue Mr. Warsh if he failed to lower interest rates. At least, I think it was a joke. But just in case, this should be an easy one, Mr. Secretary. Can you commit right here and now that Trump's Fed nominee, Kevin Warsh, will not be sued, will not be investigated by the Department of Justice if he doesn't cut interest rates exactly the way that Donald Trump wants?
That is up to the president. Can you commit that you will?
I'm sorry.
Can you commit that you will not hold up?
He won't be sued if he doesn't drop interest rates. And he won't be criminally investigated.
The president also made a joke about you that I won't repeat, Senator Warren.
That was the easy one.
Actually, I will. He said he had reservations.
You know, if this was a joke, why not just say so?
It was a joke, and he made a joke about you too, Senator Warren.
Yes, he
got a
did.
lot of laughs. Got a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to respond to that.
I do want to respond. I don't think the American people are laughing.
Is highly qualified.
They're the ones who are struggling with affordability.
Why don't you tell the nation what you told me, that you held up Chair Powell's nomination?
We're going to move on to the next one. Senator Rounds, the floor is yours.
Elizabeth Warren didn't walk into this hearing looking for vibes. She came for receipts. For an entire year, Donald Trump promised Americans that costs would go down on day one, not month one, not year one, day one. And yet here we are, groceries up, rent up, utilities up. And suddenly the White House wants to pretend the affordability crisis is a media invention. So Warren does what she does best. She pins Trump's Treasury Secretary to Trump's own words. Hoax, scam, con job. That's what Trump called affordability. And instead of answering directly, Scott Bessent does the classic dodge. Blame Biden, blame Warren, blame the past, blame everyone except the administration currently in power. But Warren doesn't let him slide. She drills down to one simple question. Did grocery prices go down in 2025? Not vibes, not talking points. Numbers. And Bessent can't say yes because the answer is no. Trump's own Bureau of Labor Statistics says grocery prices are higher. Trump's own Department of Agriculture says they're climbing even more next year. So when the administration says families are doing great, Warren calls it exactly what it is, economic gaslighting. And then she widens the frame. This isn't just groceries. It's healthcare. It's utilities. It's housing. It's the quiet squeeze families feel every single month, while Trump officials go on television insisting nothing's wrong. That's when Warren lands the real punch. If the administration won't even admit there's a problem, how can they possibly have a plan to fix it? And just when you think the moment's over, she pivots to something even bigger, the independence of the Federal Reserve. Trump jokes about suing his own Fed chair nominee if interest rates don't fall fast enough. Funny. Unless you care about markets, inflation, or democracy. Warren asks for a basic commitment. No lawsuits, no Douget threats, no political pressure, and the Treasury Secretary won't give it. That hesitation tells you everything. Because this isn't just about prices, it's about power, about whether economic policy is driven by data or by Trump's moods. Elizabeth Warren didn't just expose a bad answer today. She exposed a dangerous one. An administration that denies reality, dodges accountability, and treats Americans' financial pain like a PR problem. And voters, they feel it every time they open their wallets.